Welcome to Futureproof Nsukites.
Good evening, guys. Welcome to today's tutorial video. So in today's class, I'm going to guide you on the interface of Google Flow. I'm going to experiment the use of Google Flow in creating AI videos. So the first thing we are going to do now is to access the Google Flow. So you search on webs on Google, you see Google Flow. So you search Google Flow. So once you search for Google Flow, you see a creative studio like this that you can be able to access. So once you click on this, it's going to take you to the interface where you can create your AI videos. And the amazing part of this is that we are creating the videos for free. Yeah, you'll be hearing so many people creating AI content, AI videos outside there. But one thing that is still certain is that most of them used to create these AI videos with subscription, that is a paid account. But in today's tutorial video, we are going to be using the free account in order to create our content. That is, you don't need a pro account before you can be able to create AI videos. Google has made it free that you can be able to create at least the maximum of 5 videos per day for free using their powerful AI tool, which is the Google Flow we are experimenting today. So um in the next few minutes, we will land on the interface of the Google Flow where we can be able to create our AI videos. So now we are already on the interface. So the first thing you do once you find yourself here is to click on Get Started. Before I dive into this tutorial video, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, subscribe, like, comment, and also share the videos. So the first thing I'm going to do now here is after reaching this interface, you check on this heading. On this top here, you can see that Google give you access to only 50 credits daily, which you have to utilize the use of these 50 credits in order to create your content. Your content should not exceed this 50 credits. That is, you can create at least maximum of 3 videos per day using this credit. So click on new project. By the time you click on new project, it's going to direct you to the interface whereby you can be able to create your content. So once you find yourself in an interface like this, the first thing you do after finding yourself in this interface is understanding how everything works in this interface before you dive into creating videos. If not, you end up wasting your credit. And that is what takes us back to what prompt engineering is. We say prompt engineering is understanding the languages and how we use AI to create content responsibly and professionally. That is, if you don't understand how AI language speak and how you can interact with them, you will not get the best results in creating content with them. So we are going to experiment the use of creating videos with our main characters. That is, we make use of our own picture and we create content. So I'm going to add a content here. In your section, I don't know if you're using a PC, you should be able to access agents in your PC. But if you're not using a PC, if you're using a mobile phone, you will be able to access an interface straightforward similar to this. So if you're on interface like this at this section, as you can see here, this is the main agent section I want to show you. So we are going to create images, that is a few versions of an image that we use for our content. And these images can either be AI generated or we can attach our main images in creating this content. So now you can see if I should click on this, AI can generate a random image I can use in order to create my content. But rather using the AI instead of using the AI generated images, which is going to look more AI generated, I will just feel like using my main images instead than using the AI generated. But this is just to show you sample of how this workspace work. So now the AI is generating some different 4 images. That's how powerful Google Gemini can be. But for today's tutorial, we are going to be experimenting how we can create professional AI studio picture, and we now convert the AI studio picture into an AI video. That is what we're going to experiment today. So let's assume this as a image generated by what? By Google Flow. So the first thing we are going to do now, we are going back to our chat GPT in order to create a professional prompt we are going to be using for today's tutorial. So what will you do when we find ourselves in chat GPT? The first thing you do after finding yourself in the interface like this in chat GPT, if you want to create a professional image prompt to edit your picture, so is add a reference of an image you want to create and tell ChatGPT to create a professional prompt for that image, and you will now be able to create your content. So I have so many images I can literally create. But I think one thing is that I don't really have a reference here. So creating this content will look somehow. But nevertheless, I'm going to show you how to structure a prompt that can really works for you in the aspect of creating content. So let's assume I want to create a studio picture that has to do with someone wearing a suit. So let's say for example I want to create something like this. I can simply attach this picture. So once I attach this picture in Gemini, I will structure a prompt and now Gemini ChatGPT will then create a prompt for me I can be able to use in order to create my video. So now I'll teach ChatGPT to create a professional prompt. Create a professional prompt that I can use to generate exact image like this using my main picture with AI. So now we're going back to this again. A professional JSON. We're going to what include the word JSON prompt, because this is why I include this JSON prompt is the structure of how the prompt comes. It will come more like a code. So what JSON simply means is what JavaScript object notation. So that is what JSON means. I'm going to send this now to ChatGPT. ChatGPT is now going to structure a professional prompt I can simply use to generate AI images that resemble in this style of image. So now you can see this is the JSON prompt generated. You can see it looks more like a code, but I can really show you that most of the photographers today use such kind of JSON prompt in order to edit your pictures in studio, and you never know how this thing has been done. They will charge you 5,000 or 7,000 naira for just a single picture that was edited or created with AI. So now I'm going to copy this JSON prompt and I'll open my Google Flow. So now we are back in Google Flow. So I'm going to attach this prompt here. I'll paste it here. So once I paste this prompt here, then I'll attach my picture. So I'll click on this under this sentence. I'm going to click on images. Sorry, we have to upload first before we can even try to click on this. So we click on this plus icon. So you click on plus icon, then you upload your main image that you are experimenting. So now remember we are experimenting to create a professional picture like the other one I attached, and I was able to create a console. So now I'm going to find my main picture. Mind you, I'm going to use a picture that I already edited here. But in your own case, if you are doing it, use your main real picture that does not has any editing. That is just pure image of yourself. No editing, no fancy tool, just your real face, because that is when AI will understand how your results should look like. Because by the time you use AI image for AI image, you will not be getting a rough result. So mind you, when creating yours, make use of your main real images in order to achieve this. So I'm going to use one of my real image in order to achieve that result. So now okay, I think this one is also similar to that, but I'm going to just make use of another image that is not edited, something very simple that can give me professional results similar to that. So now you can see this image. I can simply make use of this image. So now I'll make use of this image as a scenario, like a use case example for this editing. Yeah, no, I now have my picture uploaded on this interface. The next thing I'm going to do now is click on this plus icon and I'll add this image to my prompt. So by adding this image to my prompt now, AI will now analyze and create my picture, like edit my image. So now before I proceed to generate, I will have to customize this agent in such a way that it gives me a professional responses. So under settings, I'll come here down and I'll select format to be 4. Give me 4 different response which I can choose the best among. So this one again, I'm going to select the image generated should be in just a square shape. Then I'm going to choose the latest model, which is Nano Banana Pro. So mind you, this creation we are doing now is not charging a time. Like we don't need any credit in order to create this image. is simply free. So now I'm going to click on saved settings. So once the settings is being saved now, then I'll send this to this agent. This agent will now analyze my picture and the attached prompt so that it can now be able to what, create the image. Remember, we are creating that sample of ASLA I attached in ChatGPT that was able to create images. So now you can see it's going to create a professional executive portrait based on my uploaded photo. So now let's look at what the final output will look like as he's currently generating the picture. So the picture will be done in the next few minutes. So once it is ready, we can now be able to use this picture in order to create our content. So we might imagine this now as my final picture. Probably we have seen something like this online, someone claiming to be a governor, someone claiming to be someone. These mostly are being what, AI generated. So don't feel like these are reals. So now I have my images ready, like the image I want to use ready. Now I'm now going to back to ChatGPT in order to create what, a story prompt. So I'll now tell ChatGPT to create a video prompt, maybe a video script in order to what, maybe a video script about how to use Google Flow. So for example, generate a 30-second. Let me just make use of 30 seconds because I know our prompt cannot exceed 30 seconds. Our generation cannot exceed 30 seconds in free trial. So create a 30-second video prompt introducing a governor. Let's say for example, so I'm going to make it 10 seconds per scene. So each scene is going to be 10 seconds. That is, I need 3 videos to compile a 30-second video. So now this is the scenes generated, leadership in action. So the next thing I'm going to do now is copy this. I'm now going to copy this image now, the prompt. I have this prompt, and I'll copy this prompt and I'll attach it. Mind you, I can simply generate videos without even attach my picture and it will generate it. But I like using references because when you use reference, you have a professional result. So now I'll attach this and send it to AI. Then I'll click my generated picture. I'll make use of it. Then I'll send it to AI. So now AI is going to analyze based on the prompt sent and it will now generate a video. Yeah, so that is how it works here. So let's see what this AI tool is going to do now. As you can see, it has started the generation, but I have to approve it before it started. So once I click on approve, this AI tool now will now generate a video for me. As you can see currently, the generation of the video has just begun and the video will be ready in some few minutes. So let's go back to our ChatGPT again before the video is ready because in the prompt we created, we aim to use what, using the attached image, something like that in our picture. So the prompt should be what, the prompt should be using the attached image reference, something like this. So that is what we are looking for. So so that it when the we are using creating the video, it should not look something different. So now you can see use the attached portrait as the identity reference. So I'm going to copy this again because I know the video we initially attempt to create is going to give us a wrong output. So let's go back to our video generation and see what we have created. So let's assume this and see. Can you see what has happened? It's now showing like a governor coming to a place. Can you see my picture? It's now showing me as a governor. Do you see how powerful this has become? Hmm. That is how AI tools used to be. So let's go back again and copy our scene 2. As you can see like this, I didn't even imagine that the scene 1 is going to work out well, but it has worked out well. So we are now going to generate our scene 2. So with our scene 2 now, we are now left with what? Remember, each generation costs 15 credits. So we are now left with what? 30 credits. So I'm going to add because we are giving 50 credits, which means we can only make use of 45 credits in video generation. So I'm going to attach my second prompt and my image again, this image. Then I will send it to these two. So it's now going to create what my scene 2 of my video. So once this scene 2 is ready, then we dive in. So let's look at how this scene 2 is going to look like. As you can see, it has started. Then I'll approve again. Yeah, you need to be approving anytime, because if you are not approving, you may now end up wasting your credit in generating what you are not prepared for. So as the scene 2 is generating, I'm going to copy out my third prompt, that is the final prompt for scene 3, how it's going to look like. So this is my scene 3. I'm going to copy this scene 3 prompt. Then I'm going back to my AI model so that I'll paste it to create my scene 3. So now you can see the scene 2 is almost ready. So I can paste my prompts here, add the image again, then I'll create my what scene 3. So you can see I add the picture and the prompt. You can see the picture, the one we generated together. So I'll now send it to this AI model to create our what scene 3. So let's look at how this scene 3 is going to look like. So imagine now this AI model is now imagining me in an office attending a meeting. Do you see how powerful AI has become? Like this is more like I'm not the governor explaining so many things like in the office. So now let's move into the next one. So in the next one, okay, I'm going to generate the serving the people, securing using the Omni Flash. So let's wait and see what the third one will look like. I'm going to resend it again. I notice a network glitch, so I have to resend this in order to generate the third one. As you can see here, so I'm now sending it. So it will now generate the third scene. So you can see, then I'll approve it. So by approving now, we now generate our what third scene. So you can see it now. We are generating the third scene. So the amazing part of this, like all these videos you can see, it has sounds, like it has real sounds. So let me play this down so you can see and you can hear.
Let us review the development plans. These projects must remain on schedule. I approve the files. Congratulations to you all. Now let us examine the infrastructure maps.
So this is just like a sample of how everything together. So for this tutorial video, we are only creating the video clips. So in our next tutorial video, we now see how we can combine all these clips together in order to form a single video. Yes, because this tool workspace allow us to combine the clips together in order to form a single video. That is, you don't need a fancy CapCut tool or anything in order to edit your video. It can easily help you to join your clips together. And as time goes on, if you have a complete story, maybe a movie you want to create, you can structure your prompts by starting from scene 1, 2, 3, how the entire movie or story will look like with a consistent character. You structure everything and keep it in one place. So once you structure and keep it in one place, by the time you want to start generate every day 3 video per day, 3 video per day, then you can form your video. You can even make it more like a trailer. Maybe today's more like episode, let me say episode, that people will really love. You have some amazing tests like stories, especially people who are creating a textbook. If you have an amazing story you want to share, this can really power you in order to achieve that your story will look more great. So let's look at this as example about Google workflow, like this the Google flow. So see you in our next tutorial video where I will show you how to combine this together into a single video. Goodbye and have a nice day. I remain my humble self, Digital Ustaz.
Thank you for learning with Futureproof Nsukites. Keep learning, keep building, and together, let's create the future.